guys, we're going to talk really quick squaring up your quilt. Squaring up is a little bit different than trimming your quilt. You can trim your quilt just by getting a pair of scissors and cutting right along the edge of the top. We're going to talk squaring because I believe that that's what really needs to be done when you finish a quilt. Squaring when you have a border is really easy, and what you're going to do is, Jen made this quilt and she made a 4.5 inch border. So if her seam's fairly accurate, the border should be finishing at 4 1/4. With quilting, it tends to come in a smidge, but I'm going to go ahead, and because I know she likes her binding the same way I do, we are going to go ahead and square up her quilt at 4 1/4. What that means is, instead of using this outer edge of the white on white for my straight line, I'm going to use the inside edge of the piecing in order to square this up. So I'm going to make sure my ruler all the way along comes into the 4 1/4 and goes all the way down, okay, in order to square this up. Now, if you're doing a quilt that doesn't have a border, you look at those outer pieces, and were they 2.5 inch squares or whatever they are, and find a constant measurement and work with that measurement for what that outer piece should finish at all the way down, instead of just trying to cut a straight line. And that's how we square a quilt. We're going to do the same thing with the corner, and I'm just going to cut this so that I can show you the corner. So you'll see that there's a little bit of batting showing. That's really fine because it's going to go right into the binding. Now, to get to the corner, sometimes in quilting our corners can get flayed out just a little bit, especially if borders were a little stretchy or whatnot. I'm going to go to the 4 1/4 right here. And you'll see that instead of moving the ruler, I fudge the fabric a little bit. And I'll shift the quilt in order to get a straight line. And then I'm going to come out and I'm going to see, oh, that's the 1/2 inch side. Okay. Anyway, so we're going to go right there, and we're going to make sure I'm lining up right here all along. And then I can see where my border seam is in there in the white on white. And I'll just pull the fabric a little bit. And that's how we're going to go ahead and get a square edge on our quilt. But you just go through all the way around using your ruler, and not the outside of the fabric, but the size that the outer piece should measure in order to get your quilt to a finished size. And that's all there is to it, really. So have a good one.